Hey there. Hey there.
Hey, podcasters.
Hey there, podcasters.
I'd like to introduce you to what Obi just said. He's crazy tired. Crazy tired. Crazy taxi. Crazy taxi.
Yeah, it's a thing. Hey, Chris, come on in.
We'll be right there. We're
We're
doing
just
our
trying to record a podcast, but it's fine.
We are getting ready for, depending on when you're listening to this, tomorrow, Thursday, March 7th, we are doing a special Riot anniversary show on our Facebook pages at RadioU and RadioU Riot.
Under Facing Booking.
Yes, so if you join us, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're with us. Nikki and I are actually getting ready to go out and go in search of goodies.
Work. We're going to work.
I'm going to work right now.
We're going to go get something to eat while working.
I was at work when I was laying on the floor a few minutes ago.
You were. That's work. It's creative, but it's work.
I am weirdly tired.
And then we have to go to find some more stuff. So if there's anything you want us to try for the food fight, for our anniversary show, or just food fights in general, you can always text us 877-2RADIO-U. Depending on when you text us, we might not reply back because I feel bad. Sometimes someone will text us at night, and then I'm not going to text you at like 6 a.m. when I get in, so I don't want to wake you up.
That's fair. We actually...
I feel bad.
I had somebody that had texted us when we came in this morning, and it was like they had texted last night.
So if you don't get a text back, we did get yours, but we just don't want to, wake you up whenever we're in.
There it is. It's Joe.
Yes,
Joe texted us last night. So, Joe, if you're listening to the podcast... Thank you.
So I always feel bad. I just want to point that out. We see your text messages.
This is not an anti-you thing. This is a pro-you thing.
Correct.
We're trying to let you sleep.
I don't want to wake you up way too early.
Yeah. So you guys have a fantastic day. Oh, we didn't even say what's in the podcast. Things that you'll hear today, shoplifting. You can hear Nikki become a digital hoarder right before your eyes or ears. Let's see. We got some hoodies. Captain Marvel reviews are in.
Yes.
People are mad about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Not for the first time. Xbox rumors, Instagram filters, wearing one outfit for 100 days.
Could you do that? You'll find out.
I might be doing it right now. So, hey, you guys enjoy the podcast.
Have
and
a good
remember
day.
to make plans to join us tomorrow night. Bye.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
You can typically judge how my morning is going by how fast I find myself on the Deal of the Day websites.
Is this pretty fast?
So I just want you to know that I was checking them before the show even started. So that's like...
Were you checking them in the closet when you were laying down and sleeping?
Maybe.
I'm
laying there like I have to wake up.
It's fine.
Turn on podcast, turn on music, checking deals of the day, all while just laying on the floor in my closet.
Which is a lot of the stuff that you do while you're doing the show. And so it's like, wait a minute.
Now
you're just
what am
not
I going to do? What am I going to do?
I'm glad you didn't miss it.
Yeah. So I was scrolling through here and like just a couple of highlights. I could get you the Mega Man 11 X91 wired controller for only $22. And it's got Mega Man's face on it.
Is Mega Man Nintendo?
They're on Nintendo, but like it's a Capcom game.
Gotcha.
I got several headphone options for you, and a heat-changing Game Boy mug. But there was one that really leapt out at me that I was like, you know what? This is perfect for Nikki.
I was going to say the mug is normally your thing.
Yeah. But here's what I found, and I feel like this is something that...
I might like.
Yeah, because something you guys have to understand is that one of the most important things that you get when you watch TV is, one, a sense of indignation, and two, a sense of being better than the people in the show. And three, sometimes being, pushed forward to greatness. And while there aren't any seasons of Little House Hunters on sale, I do have right here Hoarders Season 10.
Hey, that keeps me cleaning.
I know.
That keeps me always wondering, have I let anything go too far? Like house-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So with that and the condo effect, I'm running lean on my items.
You know what's funny is you guys think you know Nikki, and you do. But if you want to get that really gut level honest reaction from Nikki, you got to get her watching a show like Hoarders, and you will.
I want to go help them, but I just can't. I just don't understand what's going on. It's a serious problem, and then I drive around if I go to work or different places and I see a house and you're like, oh my gosh.
That's a hoarder house.
It has to be because they have like 15 cars out front with the washer and the dryer and like everything's grown over the house. And you can see the boxes like piling up and I get a little nervous. It's like, what's going on? You want to go ring the bell and help them.
I had a family member that lived with a hoarder, and I had to help them
remove the items.
They had not yet reached the point where they're like, hey, we have to do something about this. And so they were like, yeah, we got a lot of people living here, so it's a lot of mess. No, that was not the problem. Could you help us move some stuff in their crawl space? So I go and help them move things into their crawl space. I loaded into this crawl space.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, this woman was in her early 50s. I loaded up like these things of papers, and I started looking. This was from her like 3rd and 4th grade. Like, imagine if you had never thrown your
a piece
school
of paper
papers away
from
like 3rd and 4th grade.
Oh, so she has all the years. 50s. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I helped someone.
And that
once.
Was just the beginning.
I helped someone once, and you're like just like, all right, sweep it. You're like, whoosh, just throw it all away because they are just things that you don't. And again, it makes you start to get a little nervous, a little anxious. And when I watch that show, it's good, like bring you back. Just to make sure you're okay.
Just a reminder.
Because you never know what's going to happen. They were not always like that.
Something
triggers it usually.
Right, yeah.
So.
Well, you know what, Nikki?
I can't look at that. I don't want to watch the show anymore.
But wait for it.
What?
All right, because this is how you end up hoarding. You ready? Mm-hmm. It's only $1.
Okay, that's digital hoarding.
See?
It's still something to watch.
It's only $1.
What season
Nikki.
is it?
Season
only
10
$1?
for only. It's okay. It's 99 cents.
99 cents? I might actually do that.
It's not. I know.
Send it over to me.
When I saw it, I was like, she's doing this. Now, she's going to say that she's not.
But I might.
When
you guys will know.
When she sees the price.
How many episodes is it?
She's going to imagine herself in bed with her phone.
Watching.
Going, Eric!
We got to go through things. We just did. It doesn't matter. We got to go through it again.
We're doing it again. How old's that milk? I bought it yesterday. Throw it away.
It's like you don't understand.
The Riot spent their entire advertising and promotion budget on catering and craft services.
The junk that guy eats has finally caught up with you.
So please tell your friends. It's The Riot on RadioU.
So we got a box today. It's not really an anniversary present, right? It's just
No, I don't think so, because she asked me about that a while ago, and it's not cereal. When I came in, I was like, oh, we got another box of cereal.
Okay.
No, it should be, I think, some apparel for us.
All right, I'm down. Do they know I'm fat? You know what I mean?
You mean what size is it? Oh, that's so cute. So cute.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, what's in there? It should be some hoodies.
It is. It's hoodies. That's
Is
good.
it a small or?
It's a medium.
A medium?
No,
Okay.
that's a 2XL. Okay.
Oh, God.
Like,
well, we could stretch it out. It's fine.
What?
But it's tooth and nail one, solid state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the Demon Hunter stuff.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, that's awesome of them to send us.
We got a hoodie. All right.
Very good.
I'll wear a hoodie. I can always go for a hoodie. And hoodies, every time it's time for merch, I'm always like, oh, I want a hoodie. And they're like, well, they're only $80. Like, oh!
You mean from bands and stuff. Or just anywhere you buy a hoodie.
It's just like, okay.
I don't know why they, as someone who orders merch, they're more expensive, obviously, than a t-shirt, but they're not that expensive. Mm-hmm. So you just have to watch.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, you know what? Ooh, maybe I'll wear this hoodie today. I'll walk around in a hoodie.
Good.
It's nice.
So great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tooth and Nail and Solid State, for that.
Thanks. Hey, I say thanks for sending me a 2X.
I told him.
Oh, okay.
I want to make sure it's comfortable.
That's the other thing that bums me out is when people are like, yeah, well, get him a big one. Get him an extra large. And you're like, oh.
Sometimes that works just fine. It just depends on the shirt style that they went with. Sometimes you could wear like a large because they're just so oversized. And then other times, like that's a 2X fits like a medium. So it just really depends.
And I appreciate people that talk like Nikki. They make me feel better about the fact that I need a 2X.
You want a fighting chance that it's going to be comfortable and roomy. It's what you really want.
It's fine. I feel good about myself.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Are you a shoplifter? People probably know. That was the thing, like working at retail, I always thought it was funny how people come in and get mad at you because
you caught them?
No, I mean, if they were subtle shoplifters, obviously you didn't know about them, but people would come in with these huge bags and just wander around certain sections of the store, and you're like, they're shoplifting.
Yeah.
And you would catch them. And like, I had people call me every name in the book, especially when you catch them shoplifting, and they're like, well, you shouldn't have been looking at me.
But they're the ones shoplifting. You're not the bad one.
I'm like, look, it has nothing to do with whatever. It has everything to do with the fact you came in here with a huge bag. Like, you obviously are here to steal things.
Uh-huh.
Man, when I worked at Old Navy, which I did, people would come in. This was amazing. People would come in with strollers.
Yeah.
They were the ones you really had to get to because, like, they'd be all in their stroller. And then they would try to return things that they just pulled off the shelf. They would go and be like, yeah, I want to return this. I don't have a receipt.
Oh, you mean they just found it? Really? See, I just wouldn't even, you don't even think to do that. But I guess some people do.
Well, there is a Japanese startup company called VAK, V-A-A-K. And here's what they have done. They have built an AI system that works with the cameras that are in a store. Mm-hmm. And they say that this AI can both detect and predict shoplifting based on
their actions.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know, your actions are saying something.
That's exactly right. And so the
idea store could really pay into this thing.
Is you would buy the software, you know, it would keep an eye on all your cameras and stuff, and then it would, whether it was done through an app or through any other kind of device, it would alert people in the store like, hey, this guy.
So be using footage, the security camera footage, look for fidgeting, restlessness, other potentially suspicious body language that a shoplifter might have.
Mm-hmm. And then, boom.
Analyzes it, alerts staff about a potential person through an app, and then they can go see if you really are stealing something.
So they say that it is testing in dozens of stores in Tokyo right now because it is, in fact, a Japanese company. And they have also done, and that's interesting, some trials in China and the United States.
Yeah, and they said that one caught a shoplifter in a test case, and they went from there.
So experts are upset because they say that it will learn biases, but I don't know. I guess we'll see, right?
Then here, everybody be screaming that you're like profiling and stuff, but you don't realize you have signs that you're going to be doing something, mm-hmm. and your body's giving you away.
Mike says it'll just make people better liars in the long run.
Well, maybe.
Well, you will learn eventually, like, okay, these are the behaviors that give you away to the AI, so make sure you're tricking the AI.
Or you'll know, like, where's the AI, like the security camera's line, so you're always just going around and hiding, and they'll also know that you're doing that because you're trying to get away from the cameras.
Escalation.
Yes, exactly.
It happens, you know. Batman shows up, there's the Joker.
I don't want to throw this out there like lighthearted, but I feel like we should just say maybe don't shoplift. And I don't want people to be like, oh, how could you? How could you say that? But maybe we just won't shoplift and we won't have a problem.
You're pretty judgmental, Nikki. That's your problem.
Then we're putting that company out of business and there's jobs there.
Yeah. Like, by shoplifting, I'm creating an entire industry
I know.
designed to catch shoplifters.
I know, and I'm telling you to not do that.
I'm doing something the government can only say it's going to do. I'm creating jobs. It's happening.
The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
RadioU.
You know, you have moments in life that are big standout moments, and one that I will never forget is when this girl told me that she loved me. And you're like, oh, yeah, right? Yeah.
Well, I think there's more he's going to say.
It wasn't like that. It was this moment where I was, as a group, whatever, and like, oh, we love you so much. And it's not what she said that catches my attention. It was my reaction to it. On the surface, I was like, oh, thanks. It's great. I'm not saying I love you too. But on the inside, I was just like, you don't know me. You don't love me. Like, it was this.
It was a real reaction.
It was an intense reaction. And I remember walking away from it like, whoa, I think we've touched something here. Okay. Like,
everybody else sees you as calm and not noticing what's all going on in the inside.
That intense inner reaction tells me that something's wrong here. And I tell you that to tell you this, like, when we tell you that God loves you and your reaction to that is like, man, just shut up already. I totally get it. Because you know what? Here's what happens. You've been hurt enough times and by people who say that they love you. And then when people start saying they love you,
who actually love you,
you start to realize you don't believe them, you don't trust them, and I don't want to hear that out word. So just put it away. I 100% get it. But here's what I found, is that even though sometimes, that pain comes back out, God really does love me. Like, he really does. It's not just something that I say or that other people say, like, it's real. And the thing that God has helped me to do is, I don't have a problem with me loving other people, but sometimes I have a really hard time receiving love from people, like accepting them at their word. Oh, they do love me. They do care. I'm always like, oh, you care? Mm-hmm. What you trying to get out of me? What? I know you're manipulating me. I'm just waiting for the moment. All right, it's coming. I know it is. Anytime. You love me, and would you be willing to? Oh, there we go. Right? It's not like that. Real love isn't like that. It doesn't ask anything in return. And God isn't asking anything in return, but he wants to be in a relationship with you. And again, that reaction, that intense, like, I get it. But you know what? That is hurt coming out to defend you against more hurt. And God is somebody that you don't have to be afraid of. He loves you. He wants to heal hurts. He wants to help you move on. He actually wants to show you what a real loving relationship was like. If you'd be willing to just take the first step today and start a relationship with Jesus, I think you'll find that, it may not happen immediately, but this whole thing about relationships and love and hurt, over time, God can really heal that, put you in a better place. Just say, Jesus, I need that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to accept your love. I don't get it, and I need some help with it, but I want to try to accept it. And man, it's a good place. Good place to start.
You could be learning jujitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on RadioU.
It's a good chance that sometime later in today, Nikki and I will be going live for our little road trip to Walmart because we're going to be looking for stuff.
To get our party pack, our party supplies.
Just as a heads up, when we go to Walmart, there's something that you don't know.
What is it?
That I want to do while we're there. And we don't have to we can turn the camera off for it. Okay. I want to go look at the Blu-ray bins.
To see if there's any good deals? Is that something you do?
No, but I recently joined a forum. And in this forum, people keep posting stuff that they're pulling out of the bins at Walmart. And I'm like, man, I would have bought that. Like, I would get that.
So you think maybe there's going to be a good deal?
I mean, we'll probably walk away with nothing.
Sure.
Okay. But you know what?
You won't know until you try.
The thing is, I have nothing right now. So why not get nothing there?
Are you okay? Because
I am.
Just want to make sure I say this the right way.
All right. Okay.
So we've talked about in the past that you love your movie collection. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you used to be more not embarrassed, but just sheepish a little bit about because you have such a large collection of movies, digitally and both physical copies. And then I feel like after Christmas, something turned where you're okay with it. And now that you're joining a forum, you're like super okay with it. Because I wouldn't think you'd go through the bins in public.
Well, no. Like, I mean, we're not going to dig around. We're just going to skim the surface. Just going to see what's there.
You're not hopping in, are you?
No.
To find a deal.
No, I mean, I don't want it that bad.
Because normally you don't want to add to your collection unless certain times.
You know what? Whatever.
Like Black Friday or Cyber Monday.
Okay. You know what? That's a good point, Nikki. It really is about whether or not it sparks joy. And so, if I find something that sparks joy, then I'm going to go ahead and bring it home.
Okay.
Which I think might be the opposite of what she was trying to instill.
But it still works.
And when I'm out there and I'm retailing and something sparks joy, it's like, man, we should bring it home and put it in the basement. Spark that joy.
Just put that right on up.
Yeah.
Okay, normally, again, you had certain times where you would buy things, and now you seem more willing to buy things at different times, and this forum seems to have heightened it.
I love Andrew's text.
Andrew, that's great.
You want a deal, you got to dig, Obi.
Okay, you're going into the bin. You are going into the bin. You're going to remember that when you're there.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word. Consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. RadioU.
All right, Nikki.
Yes?
I have bad news.
And?
Your phone sucks.
Oh, no, don't listen to him.
It does. It sucks. What is it, 4G?
Well, yeah, but, I mean, what else are we going to do? What else can we do?
4G!
What else? What should I be switching to then?
5G? You're lacking a whole G.
Yeah, but they don't offer that for me.
Yeah, well, you know what? Then you need to move because there are places where they offer it.
And
you
where
need
should
to
I
get
be going?
5G. Houston,
Okay.
Los Angeles. My dad is in Houston,
Really?
weirdly enough. Yeah. Los Angeles, Indianapolis.
Okay.
Indianapolis. There, you could stay in the middle of America.
That sounds good.
And then they are installing it in Sacramento.
And that's going to be testing it.
There you go. Get yourself some Sacramento.
Nothing like getting in on that testing ground. Things will work great. Woo!
This Verizon rep says that you would go from downloading HD movies in a minute instead of half an hour.
All right.
And the big push with 5G, they say that what's going to end up happening is you're not going to buy your internet from like your cable company anymore. Like you'll be able to do wireless 5G. It'll be way faster
and cheaper
than your cable internet. What?
Well, I mean, because would that feed your whole house then?
You know, Nikki, they got a whole infrastructure that they've got to put in place in order to make that work. And so, I mean, your monthly cost is not just the service, like it's helping to pay for the infrastructure.
It'd be nice, but at least for my phone when I'm out and about, I don't really do too much. I mean, it's when you get home when you have a chance to watch something, and then you're just on Wi-Fi. So,
well, but see, it just depends, though. Like
if you travel a lot, or
some people, that wireless internet, like. That means the world to them.
I know, it's just something that you love.
It means the world to them. They need it.
So those are the testing cities for 5G?
Mm-hmm. They are.
Never the city we're in.
No.
Never, ever.
No. And if it makes you feel any better, like, especially since you've moved a little closer. Where I live right now, they're still just like, you can use our fax machine.
That's not that bad. It's not that bad.
We have
You're in 4G.
We have a telephone down at the Piggly Wiggly. You just ride in and it costs a dime.
That's not where you're at.
You just take your dime and make your phone call.
Okay, you live in a wonderful town. It's fine.
It's a short line.
There's no Piggly Wigglies in our area. I've been to one, and ironically, I saw when I was there, what do people eat? Pig's feet, like pickled pig's feet?
Yeah, they do.
I saw a giant jar of that in the Piggly Wiggly, and I thought, I don't know, is that like a full circle or something? What is that?
Somebody somewhere, like 100 years ago, was so excited to get a pickled pig's foot at the Piggly Wiggly.
That was like... That was the treat day.
You know, we've lost some things, but we've gained some.
Things are different.
Yeah. But yeah, like they've just announced Sacramento is going to be another 5G test bed.
Sacramento.
Which means I'm telling you right now, your phone sucks. Get ready to buy a new one.
I love when they make you feel great for your choices.
You know what? They should just run that ad campaign. Your phone sucks.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on RadioU.
You're no doubt aware of the enormous backlash that hit Twitter yesterday. I mean, people just
Which one?
Just exploding.
Which one?
Just rage fest. And you know what? Finally, something that people are angry about that I feel like is justifiable. Have you seen what Sonic the Hedgehog looks like?
No.
From the new Sonic movie?
Oh, wait. People got mad about that for the poster a while ago, didn't they?
No, this is a new one.
Oh, it's a new one?
I mean,
Sonic poster.
They put it as new, like it was new to me.
It was new to you? Well, it might be a new one.
So
they didn't like the last one where his like legs were dangling over the bridge or something?
Right. No. They're actually showing his face.
Okay.
They say that his eyes are too small.
This is an action movie scheduled to... Action movie. It's a live action movie scheduled to hit theaters.
It's fine.
Scheduled to hit theaters on November 8th of this year.
I'm just being completely honest with you. When I had heard that they were making a Sonic movie, but I didn't think it was real.
Yeah.
And then I was at the movies, I don't know, this has been a couple months ago, and I saw that poster of Sonic's feet dangling on the Golden Gate Bridge, and I was like, dude, this is the dumbest idea. This is so dumb. And I get it. Like, people connected with Sonic in a way that I did not, because there's the games, but then there is like all of the games, and then there was a couple of cartoons, like there have been comic books, like there are
I feel like the time is kind of gone for that, though.
Yeah, well, maybe not. See, here's the thing is, like, for you, it may be like Nikki, I know that you have some serious Sonic nostalgia.
I never was into it.
You were always a huge fan, and you had your fanfics where the two of you got married and all of that kind of stuff. And like, I get that.
No.
But it's one of those things where if you were at the right, like maybe this is the right age for like Wave 2 Sonic.
Could be loving it again.
Nostalgia kind of thing, and it might not just be your nostalgia.
I don't know. Whenever people hate, like, they just want to hate everything. So I feel like that. But what else are they going to make him look like? What else is he going to look like?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if there's much other choices.
You're not wrong. Like, what did people expect?
Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog to look like.
So, I don't know. Everybody's making fun of it, saying that it's really terrible. They say that it's basically like Will Smith's Genie,
yes,
which is bad. Okay, Will Smith's Genie is bad.
That is bad for the upcoming Aladdin movie.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
You know, it is. But they're wrong. It's not. I don't think it's that bad. But then again, I don't care.
So
I think the whole thing is a bad idea. So, and I know you're like, yeah, but what about that Pokemon live action? I don't know. That looks like it could be, I guess, okay.
Yeah, that one has a bit more star power, I feel, behind it for the Pokemon, what was it, Detective Pikachu?
Detective Pikachu.
That, I think, has a little bit more legs than what we're seeing from Sonic. But we'll find out. We'll see.
I don't know.
Or we'll read other people's reviews because I doubt we'll see it. We'll wait until then.
I want you to know right now, unless the reviews are literally like,
you're not seeing
this is the most like you wouldn't believe this movie. It's gonna
how deep it is.
Yeah, like it's gonna take something that is so next level for me to get out and see it.
Okay. Yeah, even though you have your little your movie thing where you get like 3 tickets. Nope, not gonna see it still.
Not good enough. And I'm sorry, but like, dang, Sonic. I don't want to see a Sonic movie.
It's not because of what he looks like either.
No, it's got nothing to do with it.
Not just from that.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's The Riot on RadioU.
Captain Marvel. It's out. I mean, really, it's out tomorrow night.
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah, but technically it releases on Friday.
Don't do it, guys. Don't you do it. Don't you skip our Riot anniversary to go see that movie. You got other days you can see the movie.
Brie Larson will always be there for you.
We will not for our special anniversary show, so you know what you need to do.
You know what you need to do. So the reviews, like reviews, have finally hit. There were those Twitter first impressions like 2 weeks ago.
Which are usually highly...
most people are like, it's not bad.
They're highly edited, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So here's a couple of snapshots. Variety says that, let's see, Brie Larson brings feeling to the fight. So they say she's very expressive. Time Magazine says the most heinous supervillain of all is boredom.
You get that one a lot from the reviews. You either get very overflowery, like really loving it, so much to maybe a bit intense. Not unbelievable quite, but just walking that line. And then on the other side, they just tell you it's boring.
New York Times says you'll shuffle out of the theater feeling both satisfied and empty. The Atlantic says more often than not, it feels a little routine. So, you know what? This is kind of what I expected. Critics aren't big fans of Marvel movies in general. And, I've watched those, YouTube breakdowns where they're like, yes, the movies are different, but the script, like the story structure is the same in every single one, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I just see this as the next episode in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, I'm going to see the next episode of whatever.
You see them all anyways?
This is the next episode of that, and its real job is to set up Captain Marvel for Avengers Endgame.
I have not seen reviews to where it takes it. Remember Ghostbusters when the female cast one came out?
Yes.
It was so bad, but people made it seem like, it's so bad because you hate women because you don't like it, and that's why you don't like it.
Yeah.
When really it was just a very bad movie.
Yeah.
So for Captain Marvel, people have been wondering, well, if it is a boring bad movie, are people going to play it off? You just don't like a girl superhero.
You know what?
When it could just be a boring movie.
I'm really tired of, and maybe I'm part of the problem, I don't know, but just being honest, I'm tired of the discussion about female empowerment around film because, I guess what it comes down to is I'm not going to see Captain Marvel because it's a female superhero. I'm going because it's a Marvel movie. And to be clear, I am not suddenly going to walk out of that movie thinking, man, women are amazing. I didn't see it, but now I get it.
Now you know.
Now I get it. Like that idea to me is kind of absurd. Like, I already know women are amazing. And if you want to know the people that made me know that women are amazing, let's talk about my grandma. Let's talk about my mom. Let's talk about Nikki. Let's talk about the people in my life that have showed me that women are amazing by being amazing women. I don't need a $200 million movie of some woman who dropped out of life, spent 6 months working out and pretending to fight, and then showed me that that's not it. So I feel like, now, to be clear, I feel like if you remove all of that stuff, maybe we could just go enjoy the movie.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be good.
So I'm not going to cut it any slack because it has a woman as the star, but I'm also not going to come down on it because it has a woman as the star. It's just like when we played soccer in high school. It was like mixed gender league. It was guys and girls. I didn't treat those girls any differently, and that's what I'm going to do for Brie Larson. I'm going to go in and watch her movie, and if it's good, I'll tell you, and if it's not, I'll tell you.
You'll be honest about it.
You know what I think it's going to be? A solid A- to B+.
Oh, I was thinking more like C+.
Oh, I'll bet it's better than that.
You think so?
I think she's great on screen. Like, she's got a lot of great charisma. Marvel movies in general are very enjoyable.
With the budget and stuff, that's true.
They know how to make these movies. It's going to be all right. I mean, if you're going there for some revelatory experience, you're not going to get that. But I'm not going for that. I'm going to have a good time. I think it'll probably make it.
So that'll be Friday. We'll look forward to hearing your response on it.
Yeah.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Now, Nikki, you like filters.
For like if you're using a picture?
Well, I mean, what other kind of filter is there?
Sure.
You like to put filter. Nikki likes to take a picture of us.
Not too much.
You can overdo it.
But you would just pick a light dusting of it.
Just a little something.
Just to enhance what we already have.
Well, I'm going to tell you who's not a big fan of the filters. The governor of the Mexican state of Guerrero. Yeah. His name is Hector Astudillo. And there is a video of Hector that made its way to der interwebs that one of the staffers there in the office had put out. And she was shooting video for Facebook Live, and she accidentally applied a filter.
She put the cat ears on him.
Put the cat ears on him.
There's something pretty awesome about that. Giving the cat ears during his live broadcast.
So they said, like, hey, it was a mistake. Like, didn't mean to. Hey, slip of the finger, touch screen, it's tough out there.
It's actually great.
Didn't mean to.
So he was mad. It was just being watched by 11 people at that time. I think it's okay.
Well, she took it down immediately.
Oh, yeah, but 11 people.
It's too late now.
Did she lose her job?
Oh, yeah.
Aw.
She was the social media manager for, the governor there.
So they take it as damaging the governor's, like his impression, his figure with everybody, even though for her and for others who step forward, so it's just a mistake. And that's not what the cat ears on, a filter are really making other people, like, they're not going to think badly of this guy.
I don't know.
But if he doesn't know.
Nikki, sometimes people in authority are a little sensitive. For example, you're not allowed to basically have anything Winnie the Pooh in China anymore.
True. There's other things.
Because people always make fun of the guy in charge of China, calling him Winnie the Pooh and posting pictures of Winnie the Pooh and all this stuff. Well,
this guy has this thing.
This guy was probably afraid that he's like, I ain't going to go down in one of those Pooh things.
Actually, if I was in this area, I would have enjoyed watching it more if he kept the cat ears on.
Come on.
That's just how our generation is.
Dude, look, you got to embrace stuff. Like, like the guy in China telling everybody how mad it makes him that people post pictures of him with Winnie the Pooh. All he has to do to kill that is to take a picture of himself with Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, but no, that's up here. Like, that's one that goes deep with that guy. That Winnie the Pooh stuff goes way deep. This is 11 people watching this guy in some town with his Facebook Live event.
I mean, instead of making a big deal out of it, this guy just needs to take a photo of himself
and had
with
some
cat
fun
ears,
with it.
post it on Facebook, done.
And people would have actually liked him more.
They
but
would
now
have laughed about it.
Now he's the mean guy who fired the poor girl who accidentally put it on them.
Yep. Come on. Like, you just got to own it. Like if something's whatever, just double down on it and it loses its power.
It'll go away, but now it's not, and people are very mad at him.
Now this guy, man, he's going to have pictures of him everywhere with cat ears.
Just for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
So, Nikki.
Yes.
How badly is it that you wanted a new Xbox?
A new Xbox?
It's like really bad? Like, would somebody please get it for her for the Riot anniversary?
No, I mean, we got the PS4, and then we have an old Xbox, but no new Xbox. Do I even? I know, it's disappointing, right? Disappointing.
So let's see. You've got Eric's gaming PC, a Switch, a PlayStation 4, and an Xbox 360?
Correct. So the Xbox, the only one that's not updated.
You just sound poor.
I'm not spending my money correctly.
Third world poverty. Like, I mean, do you guys even have clean water?
I asked Eric if he wanted he didn't want to update the Xbox. He wanted a PS4. And was that just because his Red Dead Redemption 2 only on that, or why did he want that?
Yeah, that's why. Well, that and Spider-Man.
True.
And Uncharted and some things like that. Eric and I had a good little talk about whether it made more sense to get an Xbox or a PlayStation.
He went with that.
In a lot of ways, it doesn't make, in his situation, if you have a computer, it doesn't make a ton of sense to get an Xbox.
Well, and he just updated his PC gaming stuff, so he should be fine.
Nikki, that's for his business. It's for work.
I think it helps for gaming, too.
You know what?
I think it does.
I feel like you're limited vision.
No.
That's what I'm getting from you, limited vision. So here's the deal. Microsoft, there's a rumor floating, and it seems very likely that probably next month, sometime in the middle of April, they're going to launch a new Xbox console.
A new one?
Uh-huh. But
it doesn't seem like a lot of fanfare.
Keep in mind, this is going to be just like a new version of the Xbox One.
Sure.
So it won't be like the Xbox 2 or
it'll be
whatever.
Like a 2.2.
Mm-hmm. No, this will be the Xbox One S all digital edition. So here's the idea. You would buy this thing. It will be, and again, this is not official. This is a rumor, but a lot of people seem to think this is true. It would be $100 for this Xbox.
Does it look like a normal Xbox?
It will look like a normal Xbox. There's just one little caveat. No disk drive.
Yeah, okay.
At all. So that would be that any game that you buy or whatever, you would have to buy it directly through the Microsoft Store.
In this day and age, we don't really buy a lot. We don't buy a lot of discs, so that could be possible. But then you don't have a Blu-ray player.
You probably already have one.
We do, but it was at least for that spot, it was the Xbox.
Yeah.
So, like if that's something you're really interested in. But even on that end, we have mostly digital movies anyways, less discs, if at all.
So this would think of it like as a Roku box or an Apple TV or whatever. It'll do all of that stuff that the Xbox does. It'll do Netflix in 4K if you care about that. Things like that. But
I'd
then
be for it.
It will also play any digital games that you would buy through the Xbox Store and Microsoft.
And Xbox likes that because that means less money on them. They're not making those discs. Eventually, they're training you to move towards that.
They're not making the discs, and you only have one place you can buy games.
Correct, from them. So they're making more money.
You can only buy games from them down at the factory store. Kind of thing.
I would go for that if I had a choice, because I don't recall, what's the other Xbox going for? Is it $299, $399?
I see the Xbox One S, which is like there's the X, which is like their super pricey one, and then the S, which is their less pricey one. I think its retail is $250, but I frequently see it selling for $150.
Gotcha.
So if
you're saving some money.
If you're willing to poke around, you can save some money on it. But the only downside to it that I see is just no used games. And if that's something that you do, that might not be great. Or, you can't catch a sale on a retail game or whatever.
I'd be for it.
And that's the only thing that keeps me not as excited about not getting retail games, is that sometimes retailers will be like, we're putting this on clearance, it's $5. Though the other side of it has been, man, like if you buy games digitally, they have a lot of sales. Like games really do go on sale a lot.
Sure.
So
So for a game, though, if you bought it from a disc, you always have to have the disc, or don't you just save it to your...
Well,
will it have a hard drive on that one?
With a PlayStation and an Xbox currently, you put it in, it copies the game to the hard drive, but you have to put the disc in for it to play.
Okay, so you can't play your old stuff.
Exactly. So it basically spins the disc one time, makes sure that you have the game, and then it lets you play the game. So we are getting close to that all digital future.
They're looking at it. They like it better.
But right now, this is a rumor. Rumored price $100. Rumored launch sometime mid-April.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
Now listen, there's important news out there, and it's being buried. It's being buried under things that are just like, well, what does it matter? Do you care?
We're missing out on this?
I'll tell you what it is. It's just like a magician. He's like, watch my right hand, but don't pay any attention to what my left hand is doing. Right hand over here, over here, over here. And the whole time the left hand is signing a deal.
What's the deal?
I'll tell you what deal just happened. Sanrio.
Yeah. Oh, Hello Kitty.
They just gave the movie rights to Hello Kitty.
So we're going to have a Hello Kitty movie?
Now, we don't know that.
Well, it seems like that.
But I can tell you right now that Hello Kitty, the movie rights, were just sold to New Line Cinemas.
Has there ever been a Hello Kitty TV show?
There was a cartoon.
There was a cartoon?
Don't ask me why I know that.
I don't even remember that from, like, my childhood.
I just know that there is a Hello Kitty cartoon that existed.
Now, there was a YouTube thing, because Hello Kitty started a YouTube channel. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
A couple of years ago,
right,
but I never saw anything
but it was
after that.
That was just in Japanese, though. I don't think that they translated that to English, did they?
I'm not sure.
Well, I know there was a cartoon that did not make it for very long.
What are they going to do to ruin Hello Kitty? Is this a live action? What are we doing here?
I think a live action would be a great idea. What about a grim, dark reboot?
Not at first. You need to come out with something super fluffy.
Think so?
I think it could be that cross style where Hello Kitty gets lost in the cartoon and makes it into the real world and relies on people who have love and kindness in their heart to make sure Hello Kitty gets back.
So you're saying...
in time before her world disappears?
Think in like the Christopher Robin aesthetic, where all of the sudden you've got these characters that
real
are...
life.
Alive now in real life kind of thing. Now, can everybody see Hello Kitty, or is there just like one little girl that can see Hello Kitty?
That's a good question.
And
we're going to have to workshop that.
Yeah, I know. Because is it one of those things where she's helping Hello Kitty get back to whatever, but everyone else just sees a stuffed animal?
No, I think no one else sees because they don't have the... They don't have the heart to see.
Okay.
And then at the end, the family of like the little girl all starts to believe.
And they see it.
And then finally they see Hello Kitty as they wave goodbye as she goes back to her cartoon world.
Well, I'm sorry, honey, that I didn't believe you.
Yeah, exactly. I could totally see this.
I should have listened when you were talking. Mommy gets so busy with work and staring at her phone.
Busy at work, and then they have a better life after Hello Kitty leaves.
Perfect.
And then when Hello Kitty leaves, then the stuffed animal appears, and that's how the girl remembers her time with Hello Kitty.
It's not how she remembers. She holds it, and she's able to talk to Hello Kitty.
Yes.
When she holds it.
And then, of course, you can buy that commemorative Hello Kitty.
In the lobby.
In the thing
Just
when you're
some pop-up
leaving.
displays where you can grab one right there. So, you know what? It's pretty good.
And you could do it in 3D where it's still like the Hello Kitty pops out and it's Hello Kitty 3D glasses.
Okay, perfect. The glasses are free, but if you want the Hello Kitty ones,
that's extra with
going
your
to be
ticket.
at a premium for sure. But, who would want to go see it without the actual glasses?
I mean, I think I wrote the movie right there, New Line. You're welcome.
I mean, there's a couple things I think we might want to tweak or workshop a little bit, but I do really, really like it.
Got some ground we can work on.
I mean, you can just hear Hello Kitty saying something like, most adults can't see me because as they get older, they don't believe
anymore. That's all it is.
Believe in what? Don't ask those kinds of questions.
Hey, I went in October. I went to the Hello Kitty store, the Hello Kitty Cafe in Irvine, and let me tell you, it wasn't kids there. It was like it's all grown-ups there, all grown-ups for the Hello Kitty stuff.
I believe that.
So I think we have to do a nod to a younger crowd, but then also realize it's going to be older too.
That's why I'm saying the Christopher Robin model. This is a girl who grows up and doesn't believe anymore, but she is able to something Hello Kitty.
Last one. All
right.
You ready?
Okay.
Someone dies and she has to go back home, and then in her room is her old Hello Kitty collection, and it all starts to come back. And she hadn't believed anymore, and now she has to believe.
What if, I don't like the death thing. Too much death in kids' movies. But what if it's something like think Hallmark movie. She has to come home because somebody wants to sell the bed and breakfast.
The family house.
And so she comes home to save it, and then Hello Kitty teaches her a lesson about staying connected to her roots.
Could be, or maybe.
And she falls in love with the guy across the street who also had to come back. He's eager to sell it first.
Yeah.
Eventually he's not, and he has another Hello Kitty character that's also working on him.
Okay, I think we wrote it.
Okay.
If not, maybe no one dies, but someone has surgery, and they have to go back to help them. Help the mom heal.
I don't know. I feel like the medical angle's just rough.
It's just too much?
Because,
well, that's popular now.
It is. We'll keep working on it.
Well, I think we wrote, though, at least the first Hello Kitty movie and the second one.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
Why is it on social media no one can have a project, no one can do something? Everything has to be a journey. Let me tell you about my journey, okay?
Well, you got to have the story to get to the point where they're at.
Journey. Just stop it. You know what journey is? It's pretentious. And yet here I want to talk to you about my journey, okay? My journey of wearing the same clothes every day for 100 days.
Is that what you're going to do?
Let's talk about my journey. No, I'm not, but Julia Mooney did. She's 34 years old, and back in September of last year, she started a 100-day project, her, and I quote, journey, in which she wanted to show her students. She's a middle school art teacher, and she wanted to show them that, hey, you know what? We put too much emphasis on buying clothes, getting new clothes. So she bought a dress, and she wore the same dress every day for 100 days.
Did she style it in different ways?
She did.
Okay.
So, here's a picture of her wearing a sweater with her dress. And here's a picture of her wearing a scarf. And here's a picture of her wearing an apron. And here's a picture of her wearing a different apron. And, different things like that. But she wore the same dress every day for 100 days. She said that she spent $50 on the dress it came from, and I quote, a sustainable clothing retailer.
Nice. Good.
So does sustainable clothing, does that mean your clothes last a long time, or does the business model?
How the dress was actually made.
She says that her students got a real kick out of it.
Real life lesson every day.
And she documented her journey on Instagram. So you can go back and see the 100 different things she did with the dress
to make it
over
work.
the course of the 100 days.
That's an interesting idea. It was a couple of years ago, I really got into watching minimalistic documentaries and stuff, like a minimal lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they talked about, especially with clothing, they would only have maybe 2 or 3 outfits. Mm-hmm. And they said that most people, we might buy a lot of clothes, but when it really gets down to it, we're really wearing the same things. And so you're supposed to go through and see, you might buy it and wear it once, but then you don't bring it back. A trick is you flip your hangers a different way. So then when you wear it, it flips back the other way, and that'll actually show you what are you actually wearing in your closet, and then you don't have to have as much or feel like you need to buy more because it's like, oh, I never wear this. I'm going to wear it today. Yeah. Or I can donate it.
That's an interesting idea, but I can just tell you as somebody that doesn't like to do laundry, I wear all my clothes.
I know you do. You just will go forever because you don't want to wash your clothes.
Yeah, so you just keep going.
Keep going until you run out.
I've got 2 pairs of jeans that I rotate. Yeah. And the funny thing is they're the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're
same style.
Yeah, they are. And I just found a couple that I like, and I'm like, yeah, it's good enough, whatever. And then I just wear a different T-shirt every day.
That's life.
It's funny. This woman wears the same dress.
That on Instagram.
This woman wears the same dress every day. I'm rotating T-shirts, but I'm the one that sounds pathetic.
She made it into a creative.
A journey.
A journey and
She made it into a journey.
Yeah.
What about my shirt journey?
Why don't you style it every day?
I am. I'm wearing it right now. Look, I've got an off-the-cuff Adidas jacket that I'm wearing right now. Wow.
Wow, look at
really
that.
Really changed up the look.
It's quite a big outfit.
Yeah, wow.
All right, well, very interesting idea.
It is an interesting idea. I have toyed with the idea of buying like 5 black T-shirts and a pair of jeans and just being like, I just wear a black T-shirt every day.
That's your thing.
It's got nothing on it, doesn't have a pocket. It's just a plain black T-shirt, and that's all I wear all the time.
And then when you get into it, you'll realize no one cares what you're wearing.
Yeah, nobody cares. Unless, you're like, people care what attractive people are wearing, but like me, the normie.
You're blending in.
Just that background guy that you're not paying attention to anyway. You don't care?
No one's like, didn't I just see you in that same plain black T-shirt?
You're like, I've never looked at you before, and I took one glance at your body, never looked back, and I don't care. I don't care what you look like, because it's not good enough.
Or what you wear.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on Radio U.
It's time to do some crowdsourcing. Nikki and I have a question for you. Have you ever had Amazon's coffee?
Yeah.
Amazon, the website. Mm-hmm. Amazon.com.
It seems like their branded coffee is newer.
It is.
So it's something I saw on
newer?
Yeah, I saw it where they were doing a special on it. So I was just curious how it tasted.
What I find funny is that Amazon makes products or whatever, they slap their name on them. Any other company that does that is considered a generic store brand product. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, I don't want Big K Cola. That sucks. I don't want Albertsons coffee. I don't want Giant Eagle ketchup.
No, I think that's an older mentality from like a few years ago. I think now the store brand, everybody knows it's the same. It's usually made by the same company as the branded one.
That's not always true.
Most of the time.
Like with ketchup, for example.
Well, you have your brand you like, and you can't be told anything different. You've closed your mind to that.
Oh, I see. Now, it's not.
It could very well taste like the generic, but you won't give it a chance.
Fine. You know what? Ketchup taste test. Here we go.
Give it a try.
We're going to get Heinz, Hunt's, and store brand.
And put them all.
Let's see if I can identify them.
I want to know if you can figure it out. You could be blindfolded. But let's see. Amazon Fresh is doing a donut cafe medium roast. There's like a bold one. So there's Amazon coffee.
So Amazon coffee. I just want to know. And I realize you're like, what are you asking us for? You're the taste tester. You get it.
Well, no, we want to see if anybody else has added first.
I'm just curious if anybody else has taken the plunge and gotten themselves some Starbucks. I just said Amazon coffee.
Did you look at the reviews?
No. I haven't.
It's 4 stars out of 960 customer reviews.
Okay. That's pretty good.
It is.
Right?
There's a Colombian, a dark roast, a medium. So there's a few.
Yeah, there's a few. Look at that hazelnut, vanilla. We like those.
We do.
Just bright, a nice light roast.
All right, if anybody else has tried it. What was the other one everyone told us to try when we talked about coffee last time? It was a grocery store brand. And it was Folgers, wasn't it?
Oh, it was that like
Silk
Folgers
or something?
Dark Silk or something like that.
Everybody swears by that.
Yeah. But, okay, this says the very first, the most helpful review on Amazon says, not premium coffee by any stretch, but at the price per pound, it's one of the best, most consistent options you can get.
I think that's all everybody's looking for. You don't need the best, but you're just looking for something that's pretty good.
Oh, I want some best. Where do you get that?
No, we've settled. You must settle.
Where do you get the best?
Just okay stuff. Pretty good for the price.
I want
Great
some
for
of the
price.
best. I want some of the best.
You're not getting the best.
Fine. I never get the best.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
You're not naked jeeping.
No one's doing that.
Well, that's because you can't get enough breeze on that thing.